Every night, when the shops in Abaddon closed and the streets became quiet, Zuri Adebayo spread old newspapers on the cold pavement and lay down beside a locked clothing store. She was only 18, but her life already felt heavier than most people twice her age. The papers were torn and dirty, but they were all she had to protect her from the cold ground. She wrapped them around her thin body and looked up at the dark sky, pretending the stars were watching over her. Not long ago, Zuri had a different life. She used to wake up early for school, carrying her books proudly, dreaming of becoming an engineer. Her teachers called her the Bright One. Her father believed in her more than anyone. But everything changed when he died suddenly. After his funeral, her stepmother's love disappeared too. One evening, she told Zuri to pack her things and leave. No explanation. No goodbye. Just anger and cold words. By nightfall, Zuri had no home. Now, her days were spent at busy traffic lights, wiping dust from car windows with an old cloth. Some drivers smiled and gave her coin. Most looked away, pretending she wasn't there. When she got tired, she sat near the roadside and sang softly. Her voice was gentle and sad, like it was carrying all her pain. Sometimes, someone dropped a small note in her hand. Sometimes no one did. Hunger became her closest companion. Many nights, she slept with an empty stomach, holding her bag like it was a pillow. Still, she tried not to cry. Before closing her eyes, Zuri whispered the same prayer every night, her voice shaking in the darkness. Please God, let tomorrow be kinder than today. One evening, dark clouds covered the sky, and heavy rain began to fall over Abaddon. The roads became slippery, and cars moved slowly, splashing muddy water everywhere. Zuri stood near her usual traffic light, holding her old cloth and trying her best to clean windshield. Her clothes were wet. Her hair stuck to her face. Her slippers were almost broken. Still, she didn't stop. She needed something to eat that night. Cars passed her one by one. Some drivers honked angrily. Some waved her away like she was a problem. Others rolled up their windows and ignored her completely. Then, something different happened. A black luxury car slowly stopped near her. It was clean, shiny, and expensive. Raindrops slid down its glass like tiny diamonds. Inside sat Malik Okoro, a 28-year-old tech entrepreneur from Lagos. He was in town for business meetings and had never really noticed street life like this before. He was used to offices, conferences, and air-conditioned rooms, not rainy roads and hungry teenagers. As he waited at the red light, he saw Zuri step away from his car. She wasn't coming to clean his window. Instead, she ran toward an old woman who was struggling to cross the flooded road. The woman's legs were shaking, and cars were speeding past without caring. Without thinking twice, Zuri held her hand, protected her from splashing water, and slowly guided her to the other side. She even gave her own scarf to wipe her face. Malik watched everything quietly. No camera, no audience, no reward, just kindness. Something inside him shifted. When Zuri returned, he lowered his window and gently called her. Hey, are you hungry? She looked surprised but nodded slowly. He handed her a packed meal from the passenger seat. Take this. Her eyes widened. For me? Yes, he smiled. She accepted the food with shaking hand. Then Malik took out his wallet and offered her money too. But Zuri shook her head. Thank you, sir, but I don't need money. The food is enough. He froze. No one had ever refused his money before. In that moment, Malik realized this girl was different, and Zuri didn't know it yet. But her life had just started to change. After that rainy night, Malik could not forget Zuri. Back in his hotel room, her face kept coming to his mind. The way she helped the old woman. The way she refused money. The way she smiled even when she had nothing. He had met many people in his rich life, but no one like her. So the next evening, he went back to the same road. Zuri was surprised when she saw the same black car stop near her. You, she laughed softly. Rain Man. Malik smiled. I came to check if you are still here. He handed her a bag of food. Rice, chicken, juice, and bread. Her stomach growled loudly, and she felt shy. Thank you, she said. You don't have to do this every day. But he did. Every evening after that, Malik returned. Sometimes with burgers. Sometimes with noodles. Sometimes with hot tea when the weather was cold. He never made her feel small. He never talked down to her. He just sat in his car, lowered the window, and talked to her like she mattered. Slowly, Zuri stopped being afraid of him. They started sharing little stories. Malik told her he was just a businessman from Lagos who traveled a lot. He never talked about his companies, his millions, or his fame. He wanted her to see him as normal. Zuri told him about her life. About her father who used to clap for her when she solved math problems. About her stepmother who pushed her out. About sleeping under shops. About crying quietly at night. One day, while eating bread together, she said softly, I wanted to be an engineer. Malik looked at her. Wanted? Yes, she smiled sadly. I love machines. I love fixing things. When something is broken, I like to understand why. That's beautiful, he said honestly. No one has ever said that to me, she replied. They laughed a lot too. She teased him for his serious face. He teased her for singing off-key. Sometimes they forgot about traffic, noise, and rain. It felt like their own small world. Trust slowly grew between them. Zuri started waiting for his car every evening. Malik started changing his schedule just to see her. And without knowing it, Zuri was falling in love with a man she thought was just a businessman, not knowing he was one of the richest young men in Nigeria. One evening, Zuri was sitting outside a small roadside restaurant, waiting for Malik like always. He was late that day, and she felt a little worried. With the little money she had earned, she bought a small bowl of rice and sat near the open TV inside the shop. The news was playing. She wasn't really watching, until she heard a familiar voice. And tonight, we honor one of Nigeria's youngest tech leaders, Malik Okoro, for his outstanding innovation. Zuri froze. Her spoon stopped in the air. She slowly looked up at the screen, and her heart almost stopped. There he was, standing on a big stage, wearing a perfect suit, bright lights everywhere, people clapping, cameras flashing, a golden award in his hands. The man on the screen was smiling. It was Malik, her Malik, 28-year-old millionaire, founder of multiple tech companies, pride of the nation. The words kept coming, but Zuri couldn't hear them anymore. Her ears were ringing. Her hands were shaking. Millionaire? She whispered. Her chest felt tight. All this time, he wasn't just a businessman. He was rich, famous, powerful. Tears filled her eyes. Suddenly, every memory changed. The food he brought, the smiles, the kindness. She started thinking, was it all pity? Did he see me as a poor girl to help? Was I just a charity case to him? That night, she didn't wait for him. She walked away. The next day, Malik came as usual, but Zuri wasn't there. He waited and waited. She didn't come. He asked around until someone told him, "She saw you on TV." His heart dropped. He understood. He rushed to find her near her sleeping place. "Zuri," he called, "please listen to me." She stood up slowly, her eyes cold. "Why did you lie to me?" she asked. "Was I your poor project? Something to feel good about?" "No," Malik said quickly. "Never. I hid it because I didn't want money to stand between us. I wanted you to like me for me." She laughed bitterly. "For you? Or for your money?" "You don't understand," he said. "I cared about you before I knew you cared about me." She shook her head. "I'm just a homeless girl," she whispered. "You live in a world I don't belong to." Old pain returned. Her father, her stepmother, being thrown away, feeling unwanted, feeling small. "I trusted you," she said quietly, "and you broke it." Then she turned away, leaving Malik standing there, with regret in his eyes and her name in his heart. After Zuri walked away from Malik, her life became quiet again. No more evening talks, no more warm meals, no more laughter, just traffic noise, cold nights, and silent tears. Malik tried many times to reach her, but she refused to see him. At the same time, his own world started closing in on him. That was when Vanessa Mensah returned. Vanessa was beautiful, rich, and always dressed in expensive designer clothes. She came from a powerful family in Accra, Ghana. For years, both families had planned that she and Malik would get married. To them, it was a perfect match. Money with money, status with status. Vanessa believed Malik was hers, until she heard whispers. Some street girl in Ibadan. A poor cleaner he keeps visiting. She thinks she's special. Those words burned her. She hired people to follow him, and soon she found Zuri. One afternoon, Zuri was sitting near a shopping plaza, quietly singing like she always did. Suddenly, a shiny car stopped in front of her. Vanessa stepped out in high heels and sunglasses, looking like she walked out of a magazine. People started watching. Vanessa walked straight to Zuri. "So you're the girl," she said loudly. "The street beggar chasing luxury." Zuri looked up, confused. "Excuse me?" Vanessa laughed. "Don't act innocent. You think talking to Malik makes you important? You're just a poor girl dreaming of rich life." People took out their phones, recording, smiling, enjoying the drama. "You sleep on the road," Vanessa continued. "And you want a billionaire? Know your place." Zuri's face burned with shame. "I never asked for anything," she whispered. But Vanessa didn't care. "You're embarrassing yourself," she said and walked away. The videos were everywhere that night. On TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram. Rich man's fiancé destroys homeless girl. Street beggar exposed. Gold digger caught. Strangers laughed at Zuri, commented cruel things, made memes of her. She stopped going out, stopped singing, stopped talking. Meanwhile, Malik was furious when he saw the video. He confronted Vanessa. "You had no right," he shouted. She replied calmly, "I protected our future. Choose wisely, her or this life." His parents agreed with her. Friends warned him. Business partners whispered, "Don't ruin your name. Think of your status. Don't be foolish." Malik was trapped, between love and power, between truth and tradition. And Zuri was left alone, fighting the world with a broken heart. After the videos went viral, Zuri felt like her life had ended. People pointed at her, whispered, laughed. Some even came close just to take pictures. She stopped standing at traffic lights. She stopped singing. She stopped hoping. For days, she cried alone under the closed shop, holding her bag like a child holding a toy. Her heart was tired. Her spirit was weak. She felt small again, like the day her stepmother pushed her out. But one night, while lying on the cold ground, she remembered her old dream. I wanted to be an engineer. Those words came back to her, and something inside her woke up. I won't die like this, she whispered. I won't. The next morning, she stood up with swollen eyes and a strong heart. She went back to work, not at traffic lights. At the market, she helped traders carry goods, cleaned shops, sorted vegetables, did anything honest for money. That was where she met Mama Halima Bello. Mama Halima was a big-hearted market woman who sold tomatoes and pepper. She noticed Zuri's tired face and thin body. My daughter, she said one day, where do you sleep? Zuri hesitated, then told her everything. Mama Halima hugged her. From that day, she gave Zuri a small space behind her shop to sleep. A mat, a blanket, a roof. For the first time in years, Zuri felt safe. Unknown to her, Malik was still watching from far away. He respected her silence. But he couldn't stop caring. Through a trusted friend, he secretly helped her register for night school. He paid the fees quietly, without putting his name anywhere. One evening, Zuri received a form. You've been accepted, it said. She cried with joy. At night, after working all day, she went to class. Tired, hungry, but determined. She studied under streetlight, read borrowed books, watched free videos at cyber cafe. She learned computers, coding, design, web tools. Sometimes she slept on her books. 2 years passed. No parties, no shortcuts, only hard work. Slowly, she started helping small traders make flyers, posters, and online pages. They paid her little, but it grew. Word spread. Go to Zuri. She's smart. With savings and courage, she opened a small digital service business. One old laptop, one small table, big dreams. From the girl who slept on newspapers, she became a girl building her future. Without revenge, without hate, only strength. Zuri never planned to become famous. She never dreamed of luxury. She only wanted a better life. Every day, she sat behind her small table with her old laptop, designing logos, building simple websites, and helping small businesses go online. She worked quietly, no noise, no pride, no showing off. But her work was good, very good. One day, a foreign company that partnered with local traders noticed her design. They were impressed. They asked who made this. Zuri, they replied, a small girl in Lagos. Soon, emails started coming. From Kenya, from South Africa, from Europe. They wanted to work with her. At first, she thought it was fake. But it wasn't. Investors became interested in her small digital company. They saw her talent, her story, and her discipline. After many online meetings and interviews, they decided to support her business. Money entered her account, more than she had ever seen in her life. Zuri sat on her bed and cried, not because she was rich, but because she was finally free. She paid Mama Halima back. She bought her new tools. She helped other struggling girls. And then, quietly, she rented her own small apartment in Lekki, Lagos. White walls, clean floor, a soft bed, a window with sunlight. The first night she slept there, she couldn't stop smiling. No newspapers, no cold ground, no fear, just peace. Meanwhile, Malik's life was falling apart. Vanessa kept showing her true colors. She insulted staff, controlled his friends, laughed at poor people, and never apologized. One day, Malik realized something painful. This was not love. This was pride. He remembered Zuri's kindness, her honesty, her simple heart, and he felt ashamed. He finally confronted Vanessa. I can't marry you, he said. I don't like who I become with you. She was shocked. Their families were angry. The media talked, but Malik didn't care. He walked away. At night, alone in his big house, he thought of Zuri, her laugh, her strength, her dreams. And he whispered to himself, I lost the best thing in my life. While Zuri was building her future quietly, Malik was learning the cost of his mistakes. The hall in Cape Town was full of important people, business leaders, investors, tech experts, young innovators. Bright lights shined on the big stage. Large screens showed company logos. Cameras were everywhere. It was one of Africa's biggest technology conferences. Malik sat quietly in the audience. He had been invited as a guest speaker and investor. On paper, he was successful, rich, respected. But inside, he still felt empty. He came alone. No Vanessa. No family. No smile. As he checked the event program on his phone, one name caught his eye. Keynote speaker, Zuri Adebayo, CEO, Zuri Tech Africa. His heart skipped. Zuri? No way, he whispered. Before he could think, the lights dimmed. The The host spoke loudly. Please welcome our next speaker. Applause filled the hall. And then, she walked onto the stage. Tall, confident, elegant, wearing a simple but beautiful suit. Her hair was neat. Her face was calm. Her eyes were strong. It was Zuri, but not the street girl he once knew. Not the girl wrapped in newspapers. This was a queen. Malik couldn't breathe. That's her, he whispered. She smiled at the crowd and began to speak. She talked about starting with nothing, about sleeping in markets, about learning at night, about failing and rising again, about building a company from one laptop. Her voice was steady, powerful, honest. The audience listened in silence. Then they stood up, clapped, some even cried. Malik's eyes were wet. He remembered the girl who once said, I wanted to be an engineer. She did more than that. She became a leader. Across the hall, Vanessa sat with her friends. She had come to show off her status. But when she saw Zuri on stage, her smile disappeared. That's the beggar? She whispered. People around her praised Zuri. Brilliant. Inspiring. Future of Africa. Vanessa felt small, for the first time in her life. After the speech, cameras followed Zuri. Reporters called her name. Investors lined up. Malik stayed back, watching, realizing something painful and beautiful at the same time. She didn't need him anymore. She never did. She had built herself, and he had almost missed her forever. After the conference ended, people surrounded Zuri. Reporters, investors, students. Everyone wanted a picture. Everyone wanted her time. But she stayed calm, smiling politely, thanking everyone. When the hall slowly became quiet, she walked toward the exit, holding her laptop bag. That was when she saw Malik standing near the door. He looked nervous. Not like the confident billionaire everyone knew. Just like the businessman she once talked to at traffic lights. For a moment, they only looked at each other. So many memories. So much pain. So much love. Zuri, he finally said softly. She stopped. Malik. Her voice was polite. Distant. He took a deep breath. Can we talk? Just 5 minutes. She hesitated, then nodded. They sat on a quiet bench outside the hall. The night breeze was cool. City lights shined around them. I'm sorry, Malik said. No long speech. No drama. Just truth. I lied to you. I was scared. I thought if you knew who I was, you would see money first, not me. But I hurt you. I made you feel small. I didn't protect you when you were attacked. I failed you. Zuri listened quietly. I cried for you, she said. I felt stupid. I thought I wasn't good enough to stand in your world. He looked at her. You were always stronger than me. Tears filled his eyes. I don't want to save you. I know you don't need saving. I want to walk beside you if you'll let me. She was silent for a long time. Then she spoke. I still love you, she admitted. That never really left. But I will never depend on you. I worked too hard to stand on my own. He nodded quickly. I understand. I want you as my partner, not my project. She smiled slightly. No gifts. No shortcuts. No control, she said. Only honesty, he replied. They laughed softly. Not like before. Better. Slower. Wiser. They didn't rush into romance. They started with messages, calls, coffee meetings, long talks, sometimes arguments, sometimes tears, sometimes silence, but always respect. No savior, no victim, no rich man and poor girl. Just Malik and Zuri, two grown people, choosing each other. Every day. Years passed, and Zuri never forgot where she came from. From the cold pavement in Ibadan to the stage in Cape Town, every step had taught her something. Every night of hunger, every moment of shame, every tear and every small victory shaped her into the woman she had become. She had wealth now, yes, but more than that, she had purpose. She used her success to give back. Zuri opened shelters across West Africa for girls who, like her, had nowhere to go. Safe places with beds, warm food, and people who cared. She opened schools teaching coding, design, and business skills so these girls could build their own futures. She traveled often, not for luxury, but to meet young women whose stories reminded her of herself. She listened. She guided. She encouraged. Slowly, she built a network of hope, a family of girls who once thought the world had abandoned them. Malik was always by her side now, not as a savior, but as a partner. He helped with funding when needed, yes, but mostly he watched in awe as Zuri led with strength, wisdom, and courage. He learned that true love is not about rescuing someone. It's about walking beside them, cheering them on, and never trying to control them. At the opening of a new shelter in Lagos, Zuri looked around at the smiling faces, the laughter of girls who once had nothing, and felt a quiet pride in her chest. She turned to Malik, smiled, and whispered a line that would later be shared by millions online. I didn't fall in love with his money. He fell in love with my strength. And together, we built something no one could destroy. From newspapers on the pavement to palaces of purpose, Zuri's life was proof that even the broken can rise. and that real power lies not in riches, but in the courage to keep going.